Good morning, everybody. We are going to start with our September Council meeting. This morning, we have Mr. Thierry Lambre, who will open the council meeting with a word, a scripture, and then also a prayer. We also have our time management interpreter, Rodia Marino. Wish to welcome her to the council meeting. To the acting mayor. Can we all rise for the acting mayor? Thank you very much to our acting mayor, all members of council, our municipal manager, all directors present, members in the gallery, and members of the public who are joining via live streaming. All our administrative support staff are heartily welcome to the council meeting. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Thierry, who will then open this council meeting for the word and scripture. Over to you.
Kom ons bid saam. Here, help vir ons om te alle tye reg te dink en baie dankie dat u baie potensiaal in almal van ons geplaas het. Amen. Ons lees vanmôre uit Filippense 4 vanaf vers 13. Ek is tot alles in staat deur Christus wat my krag gee.
Amen.
Die Here sê duidelik in die Bybel, ons is tot alles in staat deur die Here wat vir ons krag gee. God het ongelooflike potensiaal in jou en in my geplaas. En daai potensiaal moet ons ontdek, ontwikkel en gebruik. Dit is die Here se wil dat ek en jy meer as 'n oorwinnaar moet wees in elke area van die lewe, in die huwelik, in die werk, op die stadsraad, met ons verhouding met die Hemelse Vader. 95% van alle mense kom te sterwe sonder om daardie geweldige potensiaal binnekant hulle ten volle te gebruik. Ek en jy moenie die fout maak wat 95% van alle mense op aarde maak nie. Ons is met 20% leierskap gebore. 80% van ons leierskap kan ons ontwikkel. As ek of mense dit sê, kan ons twyfel. Maar John Maxwell, wat die voorloper is in leierskapopleiding, daardie inligting kom van hom. Voorloper wêreldwyd in leierskapopleiding. En dan wil ek afsluit by die volgende. Die Here leer ook vir jou en vir my om reg te dink. Ons moet aan die mooi dinge dink, die goeie dinge, die positiewe dinge. Baie mense dink hulle self moedeloos. Dis nie in al die gevalle so nie, maar in baie gevalle dink mense hulle self in 'n depressie in. As 'n mens dink, ek gaan dit nie maak nie, is die kanse baie groot dat 'n mens dit nie gaan maak. As 'n mens dink, ek gaan dit maak, die Here gaan my help, en 'n mens is bereid om hard te werk en vir die Here te vra vir hulp, soos wat die Engelse mense sê, the sky is not the limit. Ons gedagtes bepaal ons totale lewe. Soos wat ek en jy vanmôre dink, so is ons hele lewe. Kom ons dink aan die mooi dinge, die goeie dinge, die regte dinge, die positiewe dinge, want dit is wat God in die Bybel vir jou en vir my leer. Kom ons bid saam. Here baie dankie dat die Bybel 'n stuk goud uit die hemel is om vir ons leiding te gee wat alles aanbetref. Ook die baie belangrike onderwerp om reg te dink, geweldige potensiaal wat die almagtige God in ons geplaas het. U maak net kwaliteit en vanmôre sit daar net kwaliteit rondom my, want die almagtige God het almal van ons gemaak. Here Jaap Mosselbaai Stadsraad om hulle beste te lewer vir ons dorp Mosselbaai. Baie dankie dat hulle al 'n paar keer die beste munisipaliteit in Mosselbaai was. Dat hulle dit nog beter sal doen vir ons dorp Mosselbaai. Baie dankie dat al die wysheid op planeet Aarde aan u behoort. U weet vanmôre presies wat is die beste metode vir Mosselbaai Stadsraad vir maksimum sukses vir die dorp Mosselbaai. Gee vir hulle daardie wysheid. Amen.
Before you leave, let me just say thank you on behalf of the council for blessing us this morning, correctly so in Philippians 4, verse 13, the scripture is clear that we can do all things through Christ who give us strength. And thank you so much for praying and blessing not only the council, but the town at large. Still, you're welcome to join the council meeting and sit in the gallery. But I also understand you are a community worker, so you probably have to go and pray for somebody now. Okay. Am I right? You are excused. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Baie dankie hoor. God bless you. Members of council, we are daily two on our agenda and our attendance register is in circulation for all councillors to please sign. Roman 3 is the application for leave of absence, and my officer have received such an apology for our executive mayor, who is due to unforeseen circumstances not here this morning. He's not well, but we will also keep in our prayers. And then also Councillor Buddha, who very early came to my office to make apology, is also not feeling well. And we had to rush to the doctor because he had a very difficult minute. And we're also thinking of him. I'm also very glad this morning to be back in office and being able to do my job. I've been very sick about a week ago, but God has been faithful, and I'd also like just to say to the members of council, colleagues, we need to take care of ourselves. We are please ensure that we do. I'm now also preaching to myself, and I'm intending to do that. So for those two councillors, we have leave of absence. Is there any other apology?
Madam Speaker, if I may, I would just like to request council to leave earlier this morning, as I need to be in Johannesburg a little bit later. To catch a flight, if I may leave. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your invitation, Councillor Van Dijk. You can credentials by the show of hands when you're ready. Just indicate to me and excuse yourself, and we will minute it as such. Councillor Baron, I see you live.
Also, apology for Councillor Kamp. He had Jackson on both eyes, so I take 3 days to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that apology. We will then to the officer for now also follow that up to ensure that we get the note and put it on the record. Thank you very much, councillors. We are then at Roman 4 on our agenda. The disclosure of interest in terms of Schedule 1, code of conduct for councillors in terms of the local parliament municipal systems act. Is there any councillor who wish to disclose any interest at this point? If there is none, thank you so much. We are then at Roman 5. The disclosure of benefits in terms of Schedule 2, Section 5, Code of Conduct for Officials of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, Municipal Manager.
Speaker.
Thank you very much. We have no official needs to disclose. Thank you, Emma. We are then at Roman 6 of our agenda, the confirmation and signing of previous council minutes. The minutes of the open council meeting held on Thursday, the 25th of August 2022, with folio numbers 2508 to 2593. Can I have a proposal that council then take cognizance?
Speaker, I propose.
Thank you, Councillor Delamain. Do we have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, you do. Councillor Van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor Van Dijk. We are then at the minutes of the special council meeting held on Thursday, the 8th of September 2022.
You only asked the other proposal, you didn't ask us whether there's other proposals. So I have a Nasika, I think we'll be correcting of minutes on the file.
Councillor Putu, thank you. I did not see your light, but I recognize you. We get back to the minutes of the open council meeting, and I give opportunity to Councillor Putu to raise his issue. You may proceed.
Yes, Madam Speaker. I've noticed here on the minutes, the 25 of this August. When you write, especially the E199, there was a counter proposal from side of the ANC, and I was the one that was elaborating on the counter proposal. Mine here is to say the only thing that is written here, the counter proposal and seconded. What was the counter proposal? Because there's no one, there's nothing that is saying there. For my side, it's supposed to indicate what was the counter proposal. And I've mentioned in that day that, can you please write down this? Because I have things that I've raised in that day.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nkuntri. It's councillors on page 2536. Councillor Nkuntri is indicated that he wishes to have his counter proposal recorded, and I request then Municipal Manager that we just rectify the minutes as such. Thank you, Councillor Nkuntri. Yes, Councillor Pope, you may proceed.
I am concerned, so just a correction of me on item the payments of the bonus to the previous MA. It is correctly recorded as an abstention, but the reason for the abstention is recorded so said if the items were split, I would vote to give the bonus to the previous MA, but that I would not agree with the payment of the arbitration costs, as I consider that based on expenditure. So if the item can just reflect that I abstained because of the payment of arbitration costs. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Close. Councillor Close isn't correct. She did indicate that. So I just want us to correct the minutes as such. Thank you, Councillor Close. And also, I wish you well. I can hear that you're also not very good. I've been there with a voice for a week, so we are Godspeed to you. If there's no other inputs or comments or corrections, then on the minutes of the open council meeting for the 25th of August, we are then at the minutes of the special council meeting held on Thursday, the 8th of September 2022, folio numbers 2593 to 2612. Can I have a proposal that council take cognizance, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker, you have a proposer, Councillor Van Dijk.
Thank you, Councillor Van Dijk. Do we have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Delamain. Is there any input corrections on the minutes of the special council meeting? None as I see no that. Thank you very much, councillors. We are then at Roman 7 on our agenda. Cognizance of the executive mayors and deputy executive mayors resolution in terms of delegated authority as provided for in section 5(9) of the Act on Local Government, Municipal Systems Act 32 of 2000. Items FC 57 to FC 62, items G36 to G40, items CS34 to CS41, items PE 117 to P123, items T41 to T45, items CG47 to CG52, and UBs 45 to UB56. And I have a proposal that council take cognizance.
Madam Speaker, I will propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Delamain. Do we have a seconder for Councillor Delamain?
Councillor Van Dijk also can't. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Van Dijk. Is there any questions, issues, any councillor wish to raise? Councillor Machesini, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. By FC 61 to 62. As previous time we were told that the council that our word according to the money from Mossel not given. But when I see here at 61, page 45, I see 600,000. There is a project that is going on. But in my ward, I don't see that project. Project number is 736642. At page 48, there is a money that is there. It's 4,000. It's 4,355,560. That money is on my ward, but that money is working at Volva Dance and the Green F. At page 63, solar system, solar sport is there. But those projects are going on, but it is not on my ward. I don't know why this thing is going on. On page 81, even there, and then there when you see on page 63, there is a air condition that is fixed at Skuman's yard. 50,000 that is right there, but it's on my ward. And then these agendas will be taken to the public. And then those things are recorded there as at the ward 3. As far as I see, I don't know what I can call it. Because that thing is a question mark to me, even our community outside. You say there is no money in your ward, but there is money at there. I'm misusing all over the wards. I want to know what is going on exactly. Even there by 60 FC 62. When you say there is a money that is used there, but it's not used on my ward. It's just a name of a ward place. But the money is used at Civic Park and the other ones. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to know those things, how it happens.
Thank you very much, Councillor Machesini. Mr. Manager, Council is asking from the Finance Committee in terms of capital projects and money spent in Ward 3, that the councillor at this stage is not aware of. It's quite a list of things that was mentioned in it. I'm not sure if you have all the information, But if you wish to respond, you can. However, I can also request and the rule that Councillor Matusini be then furnished by the Finance Department with all the relevant information with reference to what was raised by Emin.
Speaker, yes, I take note of what the council said, but I concur with the speaker. It will be very difficult for the senior managers to give, to respond to the questions now. I think it's something that happened at the committee. I want to concur with you. Maybe if councillor can give us a chance, it's a couple of questions so that we can come back with, say, within a week's time from today, council. We will appreciate that. So that you with the proper answers.
Councillor Matusini?
Yeah, this thing, ma'am, if I remember correctly, if this thing is done on March, when you talk about that 600,000 that we're gonna use at Snowberry Street and at the under street, I told the council here that those street is not on my mind, but the money is at work. And if you say the same answer, that will come to me and then we fix this thing. But this thing is continuing. People outside, they asking me, why you say there is no money? Whereas at 1 3, there is a money, 6,000 there. Even if, in ITP, there when we were there, we saw the things that is not in our ward. It's from other wards. The Figure Street is not our ward. Even that thing of mentioned police station is not for us. And then the people, they ask, how can I answer that thing? If it is written. Because when they go to library, this thing, the people will see and ask.
Thank you.
How you say there's no money, whereas the money is spent.
Thank you, Councillor Matusini, for your follow-up. You have exhausted your time. We can switch off the light, please. Municipal Manager, it's difficult now to respond to questions that should have also come through the committees in order for the portfolio chairperson of finance to also adequately assist. But I would then like now to make a final ruling that Councillor Matusini be assisted, perhaps finance chairperson, the councillor can come in, all those issues raised, that we can just give him a clear explanation. If there's now any other councillor wishes to ask any questions on Roman 7, we will then proceed. Councillor Matusini, we will then arrange that you will be provided with all the relevant. That's correct. Thank you, Municipal Manager. We are then at Roman 8 of our agenda. Cognizance of the Municipal Manager resolutions in terms of delegated authority as per Council Resolution E127 of November 2008 as provided for in Section 5(9) of the Act on Local Government Municipal Systems Act. Items GM49 to GM61. Can I have a proposal that Council take cognizance as such?
Thank you. I will propose that we take note of the item.
Thank you, all the lady writers, for your proposal. Do I have a second one?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Meyer. Is there any questions of clarity or input? Councillor De Pula, you might proceed.
In cosmetics. Ngifuna ukuqonda manje sifika eziba khona into yokubana apha kwaba bantu bathunyelwa amatyala nabantu kwezinye areas sibabona abantu abakhoyo abo babhalwe nje basizibonele kwi-areas ebhaliwe abantu abantu.
I follow this Councillor De Pula. If we could see, there's a noise in our ears and we can't hear anything. So we just see to the technical glitch through you, please. Thank you, Councillor De Pula. We can now not understand a lot of us. So you can wait or you can let Councillor you would like to, but we just want to see if we can. will then just wait 1 minute to see what the problem is before we proceed.
Ja, zeker.
Ja. Proceed in Engels.
Ja, dat is wel.
So, ja, kan maar 18 uur goed.
Ja, je moet gewoon spreken. Ja, zeker.
Councillor? So just take quickly with the year.
Dan had je dus.
Nothing. If it's here, it seems that if we've got a problem. I think who can be here? Before? Before can we fix it? And all councillors here. Councillors, thank you. We will be, continue with our council meeting. Fortunately, we had a technical problem, Councillor Lagula. The system is not working and we can't work. People prolong it, I kindly request you to please provide. Will also assist.
So his plans be about to make sure the team was, make sure you can the consultation to that.
No, absolutely, you absolutely will.
Our team made the decision here about the people who are trying to quality to accuse about but they see there another areas is too small, the people who are cutting for.
Which active councillor are you on? We are now at GM 49 to GM 61. Which one are you?
I'm talking about the people who was who support to assist, like you see another area. A lot of the people here speak up, parting to
Electricity.
yes. So now I see these another areas. It's not so much. So I don't know what's happening. So I want to know what about these people who are staying area not you can go to. So I want to understand their experience.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I just want to give you just about Councillor Dula's asking. You're asking why Are you talking about load shedding? Or are you talking about the municipality cutting the electricity? Okay, Councillor Tapula, it seems as if Councillor Gwaza wants to assist. Can we give the light quickly for Councillor Gwaza? Can you just quickly, thanks, Councillor Gwaza, can you help?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Councillor Tubola is referring on GM 49 regarding the irrecoverable debt, the payment of indigent. There's only certain areas that have to cancel of their debts. So now he wants to know why not in other areas like there's Dalmeda, most of people from Dalmeda, and also we have not in other areas in Kwa, so you want the clarity there, what do you know?
Thank you very much for your assistance. We now understand the question. Municipal Manager.
Speaker, thank you. I think these items of writing of irrecoverable debt comes to council very regularly. Not the only item. The municipal manager has got a delegation to cut up to write off up to 10,000. The mayor has got a delegation to write off, and then the bigger ones come to council directly. It comes monthly, Speaker. So and it's all over the spectrum of Mossel. But I think Mr. Puri is here. He will give us a better perspective. It's not only certain areas, it's all over. Maybe in this list, those areas he mentioned or he wants to see doesn't figure a lot here, but it's figure on other reports, Council. We can give you the assurance we're not we're not doing it on area base. We're doing it on a base where people are indigent and where we cannot recover the money for council. Then we bring it for writing off them. I hope the councils understand.
Thank you, Emily. So we're saying that the item is then inclusive of all the 15 wards. We have people who used only intelligent subsidy, but unfortunately we can't recover that debt. Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much. Councillor Dapula.
Okay, no speaker, thank you very much, MM, on this answer, but we must make sure in the next time so that all areas have these people who are supposed to assist about that.
Thank you very much.
Speaker, we can just add, if you look at the annexes, EM 49, 1 to 3, the areas are listed there, and it's all over the Greater Mossel. It's not only, it's Kwa, Asla, I see Green Haven, I see Dalmeda, I see Dana Bay, it's all over Tarka, all over. You can just look on the annexes. These are the annexes of the item. Thank you.
Thank you, Municipal Manager. Councillor Kula, each after that you have two terms to speak. It's very clear that it's inclusive of all our intelligence areas. And we also take note, Councillor Dapula, that you're saying that we must look at all areas. So thank you very much for raising that. Mr. Kutsia, is the system working now? Okay, we'll continue in English until Mr. Kutsia indicates that we are all up and running. Councillors, if there are no questions on the items of the municipal manager, we are then at Roman 9 of our agenda. In the absence of the mayor or due to the absence of the mayor, there will be no formal communications shared today. However, the mayor indicated that he will electronically send his report to all council members. So apologies just for that. We are then at the communications of the speaker. And from my side, there are a few things I would like to share with the council. Firstly, I wish to inform council that next week, Wednesday, we will have a special council meeting. And in terms of the rules of order, we will be furnished with the council agenda in due course. So please just make a note that we will have a special council meeting. I mean, next Wednesday, God willing. Please, councillors. This morning, I have provided every councillor with formal communication which I would like to also then now share formally. And I just ask that we just pak 'n bietjie rustig. Laat ons net almal woord is. Councillors, I wish to read the letter that I have provided every councillor with this morning. And it is with reference to communication. Dear municipal councillors, communication by councillors in terms of rules of order. I trust that this communication will reach you in good faith. As September month is coming to an end, we have been privileged to be in office for 10 months today. And it has been such a joy to see everyone grow in their respective positions, which came with challenges at times, but each one of you are doing very well serving our communities. As with any organization, there are rules and regulations that need to be adhered to. It is for this reason that I would like to remind councillors of the adopted rules of order of council. It has come to my knowledge that councillors are directly communicating with junior officials and external service providers by giving them instructions. You are hereby reminded of our specific municipal processes which have been implemented, whereby any communication must be sent to the relevant portfolio chairperson, who will direct the request to the municipal manager and relevant director for their attention and action. This is in terms of Rule 69 of the Rules of Order of Council, which was adopted by this council. I kindly request all councillors to please follow due procedure to ensure that all municipal inquiries by councillors receive the necessary attention. I trust that the above is in order, and I'm looking forward to your full cooperation in this speaker. Councillors, this is now the third attempt to remind councillors of the internal processes that we do have. Correctly so, we have committee meetings and council meetings, and it is a platform where we engage on questions of clarity and debate. But there has been some incidents where councillors have acted outside Rule 69 of the Rules of Order. We, in terms of the municipal systems, do not allow to interfere in the business of the administration by virtue of giving instructions to officials. I'm not going to sit mense vanoggend op die spot, dat is nie my tipe styl nie. Ek het dit goed gedink om vanoggend vir elkeen te sê, ek dink ons is nou mooi in ons fase waar ons almal weet wat die prosesse is. And I really would like to request that we all just follow procedure. Councillors engage with the municipal manager, the directors, and every councillor has the right to do that in the appropriate manner. We also have a system whereby questions go through the portfolio chairperson. You're more than welcome to direct your questions via email, ahead of committee meetings, or council meetings, but to interfere in council business by crossing the line, it is a transgression. And I really would like to this morning urge councillors to please follow the procedure. Every one of us, we are required to do so. And I would just like to make one example of Councillor Host. As much as Councillor Host raised issues in this council chambers and debate, she writes a list of questions through the relevant processes, and she does get the responses. And as much as die reël geld vir raadslid Host, geld dit vir elke ander raadslid ook. No one is above the processes of council, and it is not nice to receive complaints from administration of councillors engaging service providers. We all know we're not supposed to do that. And to instruct junior officials. Those officials at times are so under pressure and nervous because they also can't act outside their mandate which they have. So colleagues, this is now formal. Please, the third attempt to just bring your attention to our procedures. Thank you for the councillors who have followed the due processes. We, as a municipality, we open the communication must be shared. Councillors must receive answers, and you must promote the inquiries of the public. So, as the speaker, I really do not wish to receive formal letters from the municipal manager, and I have received. That's why, out of courtesy this morning, I am just informing all councillors, please follow procedure. And this is not up for debate. Lastly, from my side, just a vote of thanks in terms of the support and cooperation. We have had our IDP meetings, and we will also very soon have our councillor ward forum meeting where the ward councillors come to that forum and to engage and to plan and speak around ward committees and the work they should do. So I just also wish to thank all the councillors. We have been faced with challenging times due to load shedding, and the communication office has done a superb job, municipal manager, sure that ward councillors was able to do the work and that we were able to have our public meeting. That concludes the communication of the speaker. We are then at Roman 10 of the agenda. Written questions received. Municipal manager, are there any written questions that have been received? Councillor Porter, I'm not going to allow debate on my communications. Thank you very much. Municipal manager.
You must be very supreme when you do that.
Can you please switch off your laptop?
So you must feel very supreme when you do that.
Municipal manager. Yes,
Speaker.
Council work.
The chair has ruled, the councillors must leave the body. Thank you.
Thank you very much, municipal
In the
manager.
White House, of course, yes.
Councillor Porter, you're totally out of order.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
No, you're totally out of order this morning, and I wish to request you to respect me and this council. I made a ruling that I will not allow any debate.
The president of this country must be challenged with
Councillor Porter, you're out of order.
Who would it
You
speak?
are out of order. Put up your light. You are
Can't just say, oh, we will give sometimes and to you.
put up your light. Up your light. You're
For what?
not speaking. Or I will request you to leave the council meeting if you have no respect for me and no respect for this
You don't have
council
respect for the
meeting.
people, man.
I'm going to adjourn for 5 minutes. Council work, I want to see you on council Porter, please.
You don't want to speak alone. And we can't challenge you. You're puppets here.
Isaan pa sa regular so kung doon sa tika in no what is the no I don't like it. Willing any kita mau pikir dia Wat is het dan? Als het die ene ding.
Ik wil dat alle allemaal zien, ik denk dat het heel veel. Kan je zeggen, persoonlijk, dat kan wel. Ini mah idenya. Aku sama ulit.
Thank you very much, councillors. We will now continue with our council meeting. Thank you very much, councillors. I also wish to apologize for the disruption. We will now continue with the council meeting. Just one last request. that all councillors please, ensure that you are empowered the rules of order of council. This is what has been adopted, and this is whereby this council meetings will then be guided, as such for future references. Thank you very much. Councillors, we are then at our list. For congratulations, we had Councillor Buddha who celebrated his birthday on the 16th of September. And in his absence, I also wish him all the best, and that God will also abundantly bless him. And then Councillor Anianza van Rensburg, who celebrated her birthday on the 25th of September, and I believe they will be picked after this meeting. From Councillor Ani. Councillor Ani, on behalf of Council, well wishes to you, and God bless you also. Then councillors, very unfortunate, we have our list of residents who were sadly passed. And to this list, I would also like to add that we think of Councillor Buddha who lost his brother also during the course of this month, and also very sadly Councillor Buddha also lost his brother, and we also will be keeping you in our prayers, Councillor Buddha. And we'll just rise for a moment of silence. Thank you very much, councillors. You might all be seated.
Can I ask the favors, maybe check that. I'd just like to wish Dwayne School happy birthday as well, his birthday today, he's staying on supply chain.
Please note, it's double cake after the council. And it's on you to wait on behalf of council. I would like to congratulate you and wish you well. Thank you for the sterling work that you're doing for this municipality and our town. Municipal manager, did you receive any written questions?
Nothing except, from Councillor House, it has been dealt with, thanks to you.
Thank you very much, Councillor House. You should in order. Good, thank you. Executive Deputy Mayor, do you know of anything from the Office of the Mayor?
Nothing, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillors, we are then at our agenda for today. Our first council item is then item E215, the writing off of main stores and sub-store shortages for the financial year 2021 to 2022. And I please have a proposal in terms of our recommendations, 1 to 2. Councillor Baron, I see you like to proceed.
Speaker, before we start with 250, I have an urgent motion, but because of the fact that the agenda is very short today, maybe I'm supposed to after the short. You don't have a problem with it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. And at the end of the agenda, the open agenda, I will allow opportunity. Thank you. We then proceed item E215. Yes, Councillor Furness.
I'd like to propose, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Furness. Do we have a seconder for Councillor Furness?
Madam Speaker, I would like to second this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kutsia. Is there any councillor who have a question of clarity? And this matter, Councillor Kuntu, you may proceed.
Yes, Madam Speaker, with the question of clarity, I've noticed here, we are losing some money here, and it's not just the money. I just want to get a clarity on answer. There's no other way of keeping this chemical product or to store it, not to lose. For example, if you have a product like a petrol or diesel that you are keeping, there's no other alternative that you can keep and not lose it money. And I don't know whether my question is, or can I? It's clear.
Thank you, Councillor Kuntu. Municipal Manager, will we ask finance or is that okay?
Yeah, Speaker, now I understand the question that Council is posing. Look, hazardous material, you can only store it in a certain way, Speaker. I don't know, maybe I can give over to the head of supply chain who's in charge of these products. And who's accountable for it. Maybe you can elaborate more on it. But there's only a certain way that you can store hazardous materials. You cannot put it anywhere. The Emerson Johnson also noted it.
Thank you, Council, Council Kuntu. Can we then have, is it Dwayne? Can we have Dwayne, can Dwayne have a mic? And he can just respond. Thank you. Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you, Speaker. Just like the fuel we had at the stores, it's an estimate that we do in terms of the quantity that we have in stock. So the soot fluff and that material is dealt with in similar fashion, where there's a reading and you have an estimate in terms of the quantity, and the estimate with what's on stock, there would always be a variance in that. So at the financial year end, when the auditors come and do the audit, we have to write off the variances that there currently is. So there's no other way to make it exactly the quantity, because it's on a scale and you read it off in measurements and then you multiply it with the units. So there will always be a variance in terms of that. That's the response that I can give.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. Councillor Kuntu. You covered?
Yes, I'm legally covered. But what I know that I was also in Petrosi working with them, especially with the diesel and petrol. I know the fumes, how to, all those things. So that's why I was asking, there's no other alternative to deal with these issues. So I would say I'm covered.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kuntu. Thank you, Dwayne. Councillor House, I see your light in the sea.
Thank you, Speaker. I did raise my question with the administration and did receive a reply. Before I carry on with my question, I'd like to just first confess my ignorance regarding the matter to Correct and I do. So please see my question in the light of that. The fact that we've got over 1.25 million rands, the stock that hasn't been used on the 11 kV cable. I've read that we haven't utilized it for the last few projects. I appreciate that reply. But I'm just wondering, is cable not something that is easier to control, knowing how much stock you're going to need because you know what distance you're going to cover and how much you need? I understand and I've got appreciation for the fact that it will be difficult to always estimate exactly. And it's also obviously dependent on the cost of the cable, but to me, 1.25 million rand stock that hasn't moved for a year on just one item, that is quite severe. And then the total amount of stock that hasn't moved is 2 million. But that I can understand makes up a whole bunch of smaller items. So my concern is the 11 kV cable that hasn't been moved. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor House. I don't know if Director Naidu would like to respond to Councillor House. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The cables that are commonly used on a daily basis are low voltage cables. We get requests very, very frequently for service connections, from the outside kiosks to the meter boxes for the house. Those are used almost on a daily basis, and those are the ones that get faults very easily. Those cables, generally, you can buy them, from local service providers at very short notice. But because of the quantities we use, we buy them in drums, bulks, etc. Now, 11 kV cables are medium voltage cables. Okay. Now, the deliveries on those cables are like 6 months or so. So, if you need to purchase something, it's coming from Johannesburg, ABB, GEC, those would be coming to supply them. So, and those cables don't fault on a daily basis. They have a fault. Somebody does blind excavations in an area and it damages the cable, then you need a piece. sometimes you have cables that just fall, because they've been in service for many, many years. So those are the reasons why you have to have them in stock. If it goes faulty, you will need to fix it immediately. But you cannot buy it overnight, or you will not get delivery. Something goes wrong overnight. So you have to, unfortunately, keep those cables in stock.
Thank you very much, Director Naidu. Councillor Fosu, your comment. Thank you very much. If there is no other questions on the item, I see no light on the councillor. We then have that item noted. We are on page 2645. In item 3216, the writing of irrecoverable debt for the period ending September 2022. Can I have a proposal at council that copies?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose the item to.
Thank you very much. Do we have a seconder for councillor?
Madam Speaker, I'll second.
Thank you very much, councillor Furness. Councillor Bahona, see your light.
It was just a comment from my side. I think the supply chain reports, the processes in the PPP, preferential procurement policy. My meeting last week in Cape Town, they said the 26th of January, this will change and it will relieve all our problems because local thing will be order of the day.
Thank you very much for sharing that comment, councillor Post.
Thank you, Speaker. I would did some questions that we received reply. I think specifically on the one 54,000 that's being written for one person. I asked why the account is so high before action is taken, and the reply was that numerous actions had been taken against the account holder. The account holder has now been identified as indigent, and for that reason we're writing. I think what I would like to know in the future is when we get items like this to council, that we know for how long the period of the debt has been outstanding, and when the first action was taken. Why was indigent used as a reason to write off after this period of time and not addressed then already? And also, was the person an indigent when the debt occurred? So if it occurred over a period of a year, was a person in possession of indigency for that entire year? Or was it, for example, as a result after a job loss or retrenchment or something, what I'm asking? So just that those reports are a little bit more comprehensive. For example, the second one of 351,000, Speaker, that's quite a considerable amount. And it turns out it's for completely legitimate reasons that we're writing it off. It was a dispute regarding a fire and the costs incurred and so on. But that was never included in the original item to council. And if there was a short description of that, it would save me the time and the administration the time of having to respond to questions on this. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your input. The request is then that we have a discussion for future references to enable councillors to know exactly what the items is about. Thank you. I see no other light. We then proceed to item E217, the supply chain management monthly report for deviations approved July 2023. Can I have a proposal? Councillor Cognizant.
Madam Speaker, I'll propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Porter. Do we have a second for Councillor Porter?
Madam Speaker, I'll second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Furness. Any questions of clarity? Councillor Porter, you may proceed.
Yes, for me, I think I can't remember the answer of the explanation, but can I give an explanation? Because here you refer us to the committee meetings held on 16 September 2022. Item FC 57, page would be page 5. And Mossel Bay Tourism Bureau. So there's a lot of money that is a deviation So I just exactly know why. This amount deviation.
Thank you very much for your question. Councillor Kuntu, I'm going to ask the finance chairperson, who is also the chairperson of the tourism board, on behalf of council, just to explain. Dr. Furness?
Madam Speaker, that money is the money that we used to fund the NPC with. That's why it's listed as a deviation. And for that specific reason, we don't, they're not actually a supplier of ours, it is listed as deviation. Fund the supply, fund the NPC.
Obtain the process. Thank you very much, Councillor Kuntu. So you understand, that is our council contribution that we do in terms of the work that the tourism office render on behalf of council. You can keep your light on for your follow-up. You have that opportunity. Councillor Machisini, then Councillor Howe. Thank you, Councillor Machisini.
Okay, Madam Speaker. As before we said at ANC last, this deviation is a problem. Why this deviation can't go to our wards? Because our wards, people are paying every month. They don't have nothing. But even the startup pack is not there. Why this deviation can't go on our wards?
Thank you, Councillor Machisini, for that comment in terms of poor planning. Even you noting that comment from Councillor Machisini, so that we do not have to do DBS. Councillor House and then Councillor Kuntu for your follow-up. Councillor Kuntu, thank you so much.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would like to just note that in the previous committee meeting when we discussed the deviations, I raised a few questions. I raised them via email, but we moved from, so this report that we're discussing now is actually, I think, if I'm understanding it correctly, it's for July. So the one before that was May, we had, it was June, sorry, we had 149 deviations. We now have moved down to 96, which is an improvement. But my understanding is that the amount of deviations that come through on a report is an indication of the efficiency of our supply chain and how effective it is in awarding tenders. I know that because we had the issue with the Mossel Bay advertiser, there were many deviations that came through every month because every item came through, every advert came through as a deviation, so to speak. So I'm expecting to see an improvement now that we award that tender. Speaker, what I would like to ask though, we did do a deviation of 100,000 rand to the Garden Route International Film Festival. I'd like to ask this municipality, when we do grant funding in something similar to that, that there be some type of a condition attached to it, because I was, I don't want to say privileged, to see the advertisement that the Garden Route International Film Festival used when they promoted the festival. It was a woman in a very scarcely clothed little bikini running on the beach. And I'm just, to be honest, I'm shocked that in 2022, when we have the rates of violence and abuse against women, that we still have items like that which objectify them. And then it goes under the veil, it's seen as, part of the Mossel Bay image. And I'd like us to be cautious of that. And when we, in the future, do give funding to projects and so on, that we perhaps stipulate that people be sensitive about that. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Coach, for your input. Councillor Kuntu, follow up.
Yeah, my follow-up here, I've noticed here, there's a lot of money that you are looting. But mine, yeah, I would just to check the value for money. Why I'm saying so, I've noticed here the tourism in Mossel Bay. is not talking about the history of Mossel Bay correctly. So, because here in Mossel Bay, we have people that were indigenous people that were here. But when you check the tourism here, that will take the whole amount to that tourism. But it's not saying anything about people that were coincided. So my question, is this fair for the people that were here? And they are with their some they discover. I don't know whether the people can discover. I only the thought that unless my English is not right. But I'm saying again, as the agency we will vote against the deviation and the deviation when these people that are doing whatever tourism, they are not including the people of Mossel Bay. The whole people. When I'm saying the whole people, all people that are part of Mossel Bay, especially the peace of Mossel Bay.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kundu, for input and noted for the both of them. From the department, I see Councillor Promise is noted. And then I would also like to make a request with them in terms of what Councillor Kundu raised that we can share the story. Yes,
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. So from my side, I just want to say the council has all raised excellent points. And those perhaps should be raised in written question for the administration. Madam Speaker, if we can please keep to the item on the agenda and not deviate too far from what is before us. Before us is a report for cognizance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Watt. Is there any other questions of clarity? See in relax, we then proceed to item E218, which is the monthly report with regards to supply chain management for July for cognizance for council. Can I please have a proposal? Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will propose E218. Thank you very much, Councillor Mayor, for the seconder.
Madam Speaker, I will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Thomas. Councillor House, I see you left.
Yes, Speaker, thank you. Also, I would like to put it to the word Speaker regarding items that come to council for cognizance. That means you've read it. That doesn't mean you accept everything verbatim or that you're in agreement with. And for that reason, when you're in the council chamber, you may also note what you have been cognizant of. And I'd like us as a democratic institution, as we sit here as the council, you have other opportunities, let other councillors be given the opportunity to raise those issues in council for the notice of everybody. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor House. As the Speaker, I have afforded councillors that opportunity because every councillor does have that privilege in terms of the rules. And that's how I will conduct our council. However, it is correctly so that the report is to note. And also we have the committee meetings where all these reports are served, where councillors also have ample opportunity to raise their input. If there is no questions or clarity on that report, we are then on item. Yes, Councillor House, do you have a question?
Speaker, I would only like to comment that unfortunately, for example, of the 6 committees, I only have the privilege of serving on one, and I'm not allowed to raise issues in those committees. So this is the only opportunity that the ACDP voice gets to be heard on those items. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor House. We are then at item E219. The disposal of capital assets, immovable assets. Can I please have a proposal in terms of our recommendation? Yes, Councillor.
Madam Speaker, I will propose. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have a seconder.
Madam Speaker, I will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Parker. In the interest of clarity from the Councillor. Councillor Guaza, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. When you check on Annexure A, the second column, about the crash in Sinitemba, we would like to know where is this crash, in which one?
Thank you very much. I know the film village is in Ward 12, which is Joe Slovo, Director now. Am I correct? Councillor Quadra, it's Ward 12, Joe Slovo Community. Follow up? Thank you. If there's no any questions of clarity on that item, we then at item E220. The deviation appointments in local radio stations for the period 2022 to 2023 financial year. Can I please have a proposal for the recommendations? 2 Madam Speaker, I propose. Thank you very much, Councillor LaRue. Do I have a second for Councillor LaRue?
Madam Speaker, I will second it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Delamay. Is there any questions of clarity from any councillor? I see the lights of Councillor Post, Machisini, and the Bula in that order. You may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would like to compliment the Mossel Bay Municipality in this regard. I think it's important that the residents be informed at all times. An informed person is a happy person. And I've seen since this new term that there has been a concerted effort by this municipality and by our mayor and by our directors and our MM to keep our residents informed. And I think that that is crucial to prevent possible unrest in that country. So while this is very expensive, and honestly, while I do have a concern that there might be misuse of it sometimes politically, I would like to compliment the municipality in this regard. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you for your compliment. We accept Councillor House. Councillor Dabula.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Now, I want to understand, Madam Speaker, as I'm looking here at this agenda, especially to the the amount there. I want to know about these radios. Is it independent radio or what? That I want to understand that.
Thank you for your question. Councillor Machisini, can you also ask your question and I'll ask Amy to respond? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. On this radio, which language they were gonna use the language of Western Cape. 2, as my colleagues said, that they will be independent. They will not be always when the ANC maybe want to put something as the Mossel newspaper used to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Councillor. Any there's 3 questions. You may proceed.
Speaker, I think the 2 questions are the same. The one about independence and the other one is about language. Look, Councillor Nikki knows more than me, but ICASA forces community radio stations to use languages that's relevant in that area. So you will see a station like Eden FM, they are forced to also have also programs, not only Afrikaans and English, and the same for the rest. They're not independent. We see them as community radio stations. We're not gonna, the municipality is not gonna serve them, so the ANC can go and talk on behalf of the municipality or the DA. It's the officials that are gonna do the talking there. If DA want to go and talk on the radio, they pay. The same as ACDP, the political party must go and pay. This is for the municipality. The people who go and speak there are the directors, the municipal manager. Sometimes we take portfolio chairperson's word when it's about municipal issues. They are community radio stations. In other words, they are not commercial like KFM, like 5FM that makes lots of money. You know, they are community radio stations. And I think the people, Councillor Nikki, who's been in communications for many years, will tell you what we're paying them and what we get is a walk in the park. And I'm very proud of this council speaker that we included DJ Maosh in this contract. He wasn't involved, they are in now. So the municipality can say we're inclusive of all the languages and of all the cultures in our municipality. I want to compliment our council speaker for this decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. No, I think it's very clear because it's stated in the item. Councillor LaRue, as the chairperson, would you like to add any additional Info.
I'm covered, thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Municipal Manager. Councillor De Vula,
Thank you, Madam.
I'll allow a follow-up very shortly.
Thank you, Madam. I am listening all this, but I'm worried about that man. And I think the political, you see, I think political municipality can get that man for that claim. Something astounding, thinking, but I don't raise yet, but I think political.
Councillors, we are on item E221, service level agreement, Mossel Municipality, DC Holdings, PTY Ltd for the tender TDR 235, 2021-2022 Municipal Finance Management. We have our recommendations listed from points 1 to 7. Can I have a proposal, Mr. Gall?
Madam Speaker, I'll propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Furness. Do we have a second for Councillor Furness?
Speaker, I'll second.
Thank you very much, Councillor LaRue. Is there any councillor who has a question of clarity on this item? I see Councillor Kwaza, Councillor Porter, and Councillor Coast. In that order, you may proceed with the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can we please be taken in to Annexure A? Annexure A, can we please be taken to that?
Thank you. We are on page 2655. We are there. You may proceed.
We need clarity, Madam Speaker.
Okay, would you like to know what this whole table is indicating? Good. Thank you for your question. Municipal Manager, will we take all the questions and then allow you on?
Yeah.
I'll rule as such. Councillor Porter, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Mine is just to ascertain, I believe this is the tender going out.
Went out.
It went out.
Yeah.
But my interest is the current situation prior to the tender going out. We do have newspaper adverts from for the municipality placed. Who are the service provider, or how is the service provided at this stage? The reason I'm asking for this is you look at the background, one would want to see that, if there's a background that normally or previously we have used this service, right? And that is what it costs. There's a tender going out, but we don't know whether it's the same. I don't know who DCU is. I assume most of the advertiser is connected to it. So one would want to know in terms of the history, is it the same? Is it not the same? And yeah.
Thank you for your question. Emin, will you now respond to
it? But maybe I can give some background. It might open up I think if we, Speaker, the councillors asked about the deviations earlier about Mossel advertising. And I think Councillor Host mentioned it's exactly the reason why we have these deviations. What happened? We went out on a multi-year tender for longer than 3 years. Now, once you award a tender like that, there are other processes that need to be followed as spelled out in the item. Remember, it's a tender that was already awarded, but we had to follow the other administrative and legal route because of the amount of years that we want to award it for. Councillors cannot ask about tenders. We know that councillors are not involved in supply chain management. This item is here to inform council that we walked the walk. It was a long walk. That's why we had so many deviations. It is DCU it's a company, the only company of which Mossel advertiser is part of. And because there was no tender in place, we couldn't award it because of the multi-years. We had to deviate. But once council has taken this decision, this decision is asking council to afford or to delegate the municipal manager to sign a service level agreement with the company that we're going in because it's a multi-year. That's basically what this item is about. It's a tender that's already been awarded. And the items in here was the specifications of the tender that they had to price on. And Speaker, we know that councillors cannot be involved in the awarding of tenders. This item is only for council to say, okay, I delegate the municipal manager to sign the service level agreement so that the tender can kick in. That is basically what it is. I hope I answered most of the questions. If there are any other questions that might be unclear, we are more than welcome to answer it.
Thank you. I think in my communications when I dealt with that, I also reminded councillors, so we are aware that we're not involved in tender processes. The question of Councillor Guaza was then around the table and the numbers that she wanted to know. So the is explaining that it is to inform council of the procedures and why that evaluation was done in terms of all the various costs, which amounted to that total then. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. Councillor Gous, I saw your light, Councillor De Pula.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm listening what you said then about this tender. But,
Sorry, Councillor De Bula, I think Councillor Hooks was first.
Okay.
thank you.
You can proceed.
Thank you. I'm listening to what I was saying about the tender. Nice cleaning. But please, if the company is doing that tender, just inform the ward council. Because the end of the day, the community, I was asked the council, when you come from this company, please.
Thank you very much, Councillor De Pula. And that's why we also have this item to inform council then, so that when we take this decision now, then we the answers. But very relevant, given that council is on par with what projects and things happens in the Councillor Gous, mag voortgaan met u wat u gedek. Okay, goed, baie dankie. We then continue. You have a follow-up.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
You may proceed, Councillor Guaza.
Thank you. Thank you, we have MM. I just want clear understanding because in the deviations, we always having that group editors company for advertisement. So it means now the DCU holders is taking over now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Guaza. I can recall at the committee meeting, the finance chairperson said that he just looks at you when there's a report is before us because he knows you thoroughly go through that deviations and it's very clear. I would like to commend you for that because I can see that you read your agenda. We have no counter proposal. The item is carried unanimously. We are on item E, triple two. Changes in the composition of the Education, Training and Development Committee in accordance with the just have silence. We are on item E triple two, changes in the composition of the Education, Training and Development Committee in accordance with the municipal staff regulations and guidelines. So with the amended act, we then have to have removed myself, Councillor Leroux and Councillor Kuntu, as listed 2.1 to 2.3, and councillors will not be part of this committee. Can I please have a proposal in this regard?
Madam Speaker, I propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leroux. Do we have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I'll second this item.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Is there anybody who wants to ask anything? Councillor Kuntu?
I'm going away. There's something that I want to say. There's something that I want to say, the invitation on this committee. I don't know whether I'm still serving this committee because I don't get invitations. And the other thing, being a new councillor, I would love to be trained here. I would love to understand everything. I understand the act. I need to challenge that act. I will do a follow-up and challenge that act.
Yeah, because I was now wondering if you read your agenda for understanding the item because the regulations indicate we can't be part of the committees, unfortunately. So we are being removed in terms of the legislation, but I know that you're not going anywhere. Councillors, we are on item E223. The cancellation of memorandum of agreement between the municipality of Mossel and Presbyterian Church, Colleges of Africa of 5982 Konigaba, point 2, the proposed elimination of 5982 of Konigaba, 5982 Oland Avenue Konigaba by means of a tender process. So the item is one, the cancellation in terms of the memorandum that we had with the church, and then secondly, that the tender process will follow. Can I have a proposal?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose item 223 of September 22 for acceptance.
Thank you very much, Acting Mayor. We have a proposal. Is there a second for the Acting Mayor?
Thank you, Speaker. I second the.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bumbu. Is there any questions of clarity by any councillor? Councillor Matusini, you might proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I see that you're taking this land from on that church, my request is that you can take it back to the community. Don't tender. Because even as this councillor before they say, they must be started to the councillor. I see there by proposal 14. They said this thing will be started to council. The people of that community, first of all, if you say to Banonga, I was lost, where is Banonga? Because that place is on of my part in Aslan, not in Banonga. Aslan. At the Afghanistan there at 5982. There, the people they want a business hub, not a church. Because there are 3 churches behind on that particular place. And then when you go and put another church, I think it's another disaster that you put in. Please take this thing to the community.
Thank you, Councillor Matusini. I think your request is covered in point 14 of the resolutions, which is very clear, and a public participation process will follow. It be referred to the ward councillor, the ward committee, and the community will have an opportunity to make proposals. Thank you. Is there any questions of clarity? Councillor Matusini, do you have a follow-up?
Yes, I have a follow-up. Because they have a time, what do you call it, a time frame of 30 days. Is participation have done it? No. Not yet, but it's already here. And then I think it's already in the tender. The people of that place, they don't know about it.
No, yeah, no, Councillor Matusini, no, let me just make it more clear.
Yes.
So now, from this council, when the council take the decision, it will go on a public participation process first. And then it will come back. Mr. Prince, can you please confirm if I am advising the councillor correct as per point 14 of the recommendation?
That's correct, Madam Speaker.
So, in that 30 days time frame, that's the period of the public participation that will take place. So there's no tender process now. It is first the public participation process, and then we will have it to come back to council, Councillor Matusini. And as the ward councillor, you will have an opportunity to give your input. Councillor Matusini, you have already had 2 opportunities to speak. I just want to confirm if you are covered, because I can't give you 3 opportunities.
But when I
You
was
understand?
speaking, you just entered. I don't think it's a second.
Okay, 30 seconds, so you can complete your input, please.
Because what I'm adding there, what I've said before, there are already people who are working there. even local economic LPG,
Yeah, local economic.
you are selling their things there to show that place is for a business. There is somebody already doing a mechanic. Thank you. I think maybe it's writing there, because when you go to the minutes, maybe it will not be there.
Thank you very much for your input, and I would advise that you also, as a ward councillor, put that also in writing as part of the public participation process, because you have that opportunity. Councillor Kraus, iemand voorgaan?
Thank you, Speaker. I think the only issue I want to raise on this item is an administrative one. If you look at the item, the land was purchased in 2006. There was a clause, if I'm understanding correctly, that a building erected for church purposes had to be done in 3 years. This never happened. That was 2009. We're now in 2022, and this item is only coming back to council for be re-evaluated. So that shows me that there isn't some kind of a fault, and I have raised this matter before, specifically on the same issue, that there isn't some kind of a tracking device, or, system on these items, and that they randomly come to the attention of the administration. And I'd like to ask that we put a system in place that when an item is alienated with conditions, that it goes on a special register. And on that register, it can be timed, the same way you can do with Outlook and so on, that when it's due for notice, stuff like that, has the conditions been met, has a church been built, that it then comes up on the system and can be followed up at a quicker rate. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Your input is noted and recorded as such. There's no objection to the item. We then move to item E3 to 4. Yes, Councillor. Continue. You have an input on E2 to 3.
Yeah, I want to have a full support what Councillor also said. And that thing is comes to what we say. That we need to have, as a council, started in regarding the alienation and whatever. But we need to have a strategy of this council. Because these things of being informed in this fashion is not happening.
Thank you very much. That input is also noted. Councillor Kuntu. Item E2 to 4, the status report of the disposal and lease of municipal properties, the period 1 January 2023 to 31st of July 2022, and municipal property related issues. We have our recommendation listed, points 1 to 3. Can I please have a proposal in this regard?
Madam Speaker, I would like to propose item E2 to 409.
Thank you, Councillor Kutsia. Do we have a second as Councillor Kutsia?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I second the item.
Thank you very much, Acting Mayor. Is there any councillor who wishes to ask a question of clarity? Yes, you may be excused. No questions of clarity. Oh, Councillor Kuntu, you can proceed.
I have a number of questions regarding this one. One, I've seen it's 1 up to 5. There's alienation and marital and other ones. I just want to know on this item that is brought to us, is already people and or a tender on this thing, or already no, not a tender alienation. It's already people they already buy these open spaces, or this thing is still going back to the people. Secondly, there was a proposal that we raised in this council that the people that, especially the Michael and let's say also in the Ndanda, that the people and social family, that the people that were in disadvantage previously can be prioritized on these things. Because if we are saying we are we transform this country to be in a way that all people will be equal, will be treated equal. Even in business, it's supposed to be like that. For example, you would be having ShopRite in Guanuma. I'm always asking who's the owner of ShopRite. Then the people that were saying, no, it's another person. We have few people that are having a impact on the economy in that area. So our proposal was saying at that time that every land that is close to the area, because that's why we were given the open spaces in our township, to have an opportunity to use those open spaces to start business as people of that area. So what there were proposals that were raised have been taken were taken as serious as we raised by this council. But I will do a follow-up. I just need explanation as I ask, I question the first questions.
Thank you, Councillor Kuntu. Director Finter, Councillor Kuntu wants to know if all these portions are going out on tender.
Yes. Because that's the first on your number A there, those are the ones that is in process, they've been advertised. Okay, so one doesn't know in the meantime for the last month, but at the time when we also report, it was not yet awarded. So what the outcome? Then the next step is the outcome of the process then is to follow in the annexures, annexure Y, as well as annexures, which says the property transactions and the applicable period. So if you go to the annexure Y, then you will see there also the allocations that has been made of the awarding of the respective tenders, as well as the successful bidder. So that you will find in the annexure. And annexure Z then indicates where in the process the municipality. So you need to interpret all three of them together as we answer. But short answer on the A ones there. At the time when we compiled this, it was not yet, that's not yet funded.
Thank you, Director Finter. Councillor Kuntu, I'll allow a follow-up.
I do a follow-up here, but can we have a 5 minutes caucus?
5 minute caucus granted for the ANC.
That is, there was supposed to be, to be count, counting to be. Not so bad.
Ja, ze moeten dan. Ja, en bij technisch. Het zal maar even. Alles dan nog ons dat alles dan nog ons wat is niet doen. Zo, voor de sessie.
Yes, and it completes the match of the final process. So we have the
Sorry, Stefan.
Thank you very much, everybody. We will now reconvene. We have Councillor Leon van Dijk, who has excused himself to be time for his plan. Councillor Kota asked to go to the bathroom. And she's back, and Councillor Kuntu. We will proceed to. We have some chairs is empty. Can somebody please ask Eunice, can you please ask the councillors to come back? you, Ewan. We have the councillors back. Councillor Baron. Councillor Kuntu, you may proceed with this council.
And was it speaker? Okay. Mine here is, my councillor, Nokolo will also assist me. Mine here is to check, because these things came to us even before January, regarding with this land. Now I want to check it, if the councillor can accept that. If Mr. Fender is saying that when they were came in here, or they were taking these things to be an item, there were no, there was not solid, there were no people that already apply or whatever. But I want to check it in a correct way, because I don't want this councillor to be taken right by to be used by the officials. It's supposed when it comes to the council, we take a decision as a council, then it's stuck there. We cannot just came here and rubber stamp whatever is already done. So I want to check whether we can be able to just, because I was informed that if we can just check it and go to website and go to the tender and punch these alienations, these 5 alienations, it will indicate that these things they were already done. So I want to ask this to Mr. Fender, can he able to do it for us as a councillor before we continue?
Councillor Kuntu, I don't want us here to say that administration use council. That's not the correct statement, so please withdraw from that type of allegations. That's not how we function and how we operate. And I just want you to don't do that, please. If I understand you correct, based on what Director Venter asked, on page 2693.8, it says property tenders advertised in the applicable period. So it was that 5. Then Director Venter indicated that it went out on a process, or the entities where they indicated. Some of it has been awarded, and the last one is the status of it. So you want to know what the process, are you asking what the process was? Then I just want to be clear. MMO Director Venter, in your response, can you please indicate this item served before committees and it was before council? Then can we have that clarity also as part of the question that Councillor Kuntu asked? Councillor Kuntu, please switch off your light with the response now. The MM first, and then Director Venter can add. Councillor Kuntu?
You asked me to
withdraw.
I want to withdraw before they continue.
Thank you for withdrawing, because we can't have things of saying admin use council. Thanks, Councillor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I know it's not serious when we say we want to use it. We will never use them. Speaker, just to respond. If you look at each one, point 1 to 5, those tenders there, all of those pieces of land has been before council previously. Council decided, it went through the public participation, it came back, and only after that it went out on tender. And that's where they got the numbers from. Mr. Venter is obliged just to give feedback to council as to how far the processes are with these lands. I want to refer you to page 2693, point number 3. It's clear that, as I said, and Mr. Venter can confirm there are council resolutions for these pieces of land. The council takes cognizance of the progress regarding the properties identified previously by council. Each one of these properties, it came to council. It doesn't bring it now and say, we asked tender for the land. Council is aware of it. It went through all the process of council. I think Mr. Venter can add if he wants to speak for.
Director Sprinter, you must proceed.
Speaker, on summary, it's only a report based on previous council decisions, so the purpose of the report is then to assist councillors with the oversight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we understand it as such. We just gave you last opportunity, Councillor Kuntu. So the explanation is there. This is now a progress report in terms of what followed from when it was before council.
I want to, if I'm wrong, the only time that I remember this item came on the committee. That's where I was raising, sharply saying that the people that, especially my client, must be involved, the disadvantaged community. This FA, my client. So if once you are saying that they were in council, can be I reminded which item, which council meeting was that or was before us?
Before you respond, Councillor House, can you also just post your question? Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Mine again is regarding administration. I had previously requested in the council, and it was accepted, that when we alienate properties, that we would do so not just with the physical address when we place the advertisement in the written media, but that we would also investigate the possibility of placing a board on the property that's being alienated. And the reason for that, sorry, I see Mr. Prince shaking his head. Thank you. That a board be placed on the property so that it increases participation and also improves transparency. And then, Speaker, that's for the residents, but I believe it will also be of assistance to the councillors in their wards. So it's just as simple. We don't need to have different ones for every alienation, but a few boards that when a property is going to be alienated, a board be put on the property as an estate agent would do, saying this property is being alienated. And then it gives the community an opportunity to participate.
Thank you, Councillor House. To wrap up, Councillor Kuntu wants to know, in terms of previous council decisions, was this process is it flowing from the previous term? And we indicate that we only saw it at the committee meetings. Councillor Kuntu, I can confirm that, but I'll let the director answer you on that. And then the request of Councillor House in terms of advertisement boards. Are we allowed to do that, Mr. Prince? Can you then respond to that for us? Director Finter, can you please, the first question of Councillor Kuntu, in terms of was this previously from council?
Yeah, those 5 items that is currently on tender, if you look at the dates, it was, and considering the processes to get there, without having the specific council decision take here today, I think it's safe to say that it was probably taken before December, the decisions to proceed with this. That can guide us. It was probably during the course of last year, not financial year, but last year, that the decision was taken by council to proceed with this.
Thank you very much for that clarity. Mr. Prince, in terms of the advertisement board, are we allowed to do that with reference to the request from Councillor House?
Speaker, yes, we are a council and each of the other three, but I'm not aware of a council resolution to that effect. I know there was a request, but I don't know there was a resolution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just, Mr. Prince is correct. There wasn't a council resolution. If I implied that that was a mistake. I remember that the director, Finter, mentioned when I brought it to council, he said that was a good idea, they would investigate. So if I implied that it was a resolution, then I apologize for that. That wasn't my intention.
Thank you, Councillor House. So we're taking note, and Mr. Finter has also indicated that something that they will. Councillor Kuntu, what we have in front of us is for council to take notice cognizance of the progress report. These items close from previous council meetings, which was from, and unfortunately, from the previous term. Councillor Kwaza.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On 2.5, I see that there's also allocation for Joe Slomo Village. We requesting that the item to be taken back because the ward councillor of this area in Ward 12 is not present to do participate.
Can your proposal have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I second.
Thank you very much. We then have a counter proposal by the ANC that this item be referred back. Can I please have all those in favor of the counter proposal to raise their hands? Thank you so much. All those in favor of the approval for council to take cognizance as proposed. Thank you very much. The item then carries. We are on item E225, page 2695.1, the amendment of notarial lease agreement between Mossel Municipality and the Garden Route SPCA. Point 2, the proposed lease of a portion of the remainder of 2001 Mossel Bay to the Joint Operations Centre NPC for the establishment of the K9 dog unit. Councillor Machesini, I remember you were very excited about it. Can I have a proposal in this regard, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose item E225.
Thank you, Councillor Alliance of Finance. Do you have a seconder?
Okay, Madam Speaker, I will second it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Delamay. Is there any questions of clarity on this item from any councillor? The item.
One of our colleagues said something. So, Speaker, once again, administrative. I noticed that under financial implications of the item, it's not a full disclosure, although the item does mention it further up. There will be costs for the public participation and advertising to this municipality, and there will also be service connection costs to this municipality. And in the future, when we look at these items, if under financial implications, those type of costs can, if not be quantified, which I understand might be difficult, at least be noted. And then the other thing that I wanted to say about it is, we were at a job presentation on, I think it was way, sorry, thank you so much. It feels like a long time ago, on Tuesday. And I had requested previously a report from this committee, the safety committee, about the costs of the job thus far, but also the income that we have received. That hasn't been forthcoming, despite the presentation that we had on Tuesday. Speaker, the reason why I would like us to keep a tight hand on these costs is because despite, I recognize the necessity of us having to engage in this and having to have the job centre and possibly a nerve centre. And I recognize that it's also due to the failure of the state to fulfill their mandate of keeping us safe despite our tax money being spent. I would like us to be very cognizant and ring-fence all the costs in this regard, because it is an unfunded mandate, and I need us to be more. I understand when we have to spend necessarily, but we need to turn on the brakes when it comes on the nice to haves. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Post. You're not against this item?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
I then also see no other lights for comments, so this item carries unanimously with the comments noted from Councillor Post. We are then at item E226, the minutes of the disciplinary board meeting held on the 23rd of August 2022. We have the recommendation 8.12, that the council takes cognizance of the minutes. And then also 0.2 in terms of the cost. Do we have a proposal? Can I have a proposal, please?
Madam Speaker, I would like to propose this item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ali. Do we have a seconder for Councillor Ali?
Madam Speaker, I'll second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leroux. We have then a proposal and a seconder. Is there any questions on the minutes that is attached to the statement? Councillor Coach, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. I did submit questions. I did get a reply. But the reply that I got was insufficient and never actually answered my actual question. And I'm asking this not in an attempt to place blame on anybody. I'm looking at how our processes work. So I wanted to know how this overpayment occurred and how it occurred. I know this item is served before us before, but that specific question was also never answered. Were we invoiced incorrectly? Did we receive two separate invoices for the same work? Was that the incorrection? Or was it a slip of administration where one invoice was paid twice? And the reason why I'm asking this is that we avoid it in future instances. What has been put in place that this doesn't happen again? Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Coates. Mr. Prince.
Speaker, I'm
And
now,
Mr. Prince, please have his like Councillor Coates. Thank you so much.
Speaker, I'm now talking out of my head, it was 2019, but what happened was, it was invoiced every 2 weeks fortnightly, and they made a miscalculation regards to the amount of fees for the year. So there was one invoice delivered too many, and that was at 180,000.
Thank you very much for the clarity, Mr. Prince. Councillor Coates is covered. I didn't see no other hands or lights for questions of clarity. I can carry the council their cognizance. Please remind council work. We know that the table is excluding style for the bathroom. We are on page E2 to 7, the amendment of delegation of powers and duties for the period 2022 to 2023. This is what we do annually, and we have the recommendation there for the council. Can I have a proposal?
Madam Speaker, I propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leroux. Do we have a second?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Delamont. Is there any councillor who has any questions of clarity? I see no light. The item then carries unanimously. Thank you very much. We are then on item E2 to 9, the Mossel Municipality Green Plan. Sorry, my apologies. Thank you very much. On page 2708, item E2, the amendment of agreement of lease, settlement agreement between Colosseum Hotel Management Company, PTY Ltd, section 116 of the MFMA, which requires us to do so. We have a proposal in terms of the recommendations 1 to 4.
Speaker, I'll propose.
Thank you, Councillor Furness. We have a second for Councillor Furness.
Madam Speaker, I would second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kutsia. Is there any councillor who has a question? I see the light of Councillor Hose and Councillor Marchesini in that order. You may continue.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACBC will abstain on this item. I would, however, like to request a report to council regarding the history of this contract. There are so many different items that have come to council regarding this. The initial agreement with this provider was that they would make improvements at certain stages during the period of their contract to the actual buildings. I know there's been issues with them paying their lease amounts, and now the term is now further extended. If we could have a comprehensive report to council regarding this matter, outstanding debts, how much has been written off. I know recently we had that issue, or that item in council as well. Thank you, Speaker. That is my reasons for abstention. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We note that ICDP is abstaining for the respect of the future progress in in this regard. Councillor Baron and then Councillor Majesty. Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the freedom of process outlined in this point almost 2 years ago. So we were abstaining. Our crown on, so we must try. So we abstain. Thank you.
Thank you. We note the Freedom Front is then abstaining from this item. Councillor Majesty.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. SNC wanted more clarity about this. Some of their management money. And then, so far, again.
Thank you, Municipal Manager. Can Mr. Prince give clarity as this item flows from a previous council decision also that's so.
Thank you, Speaker. In brief, Colosseum Hotel Management is busy leasing the Bakker Caravan Park from Curriculum for 30 years. And this was in terms of a settlement agreement reached because of the COVID arrears. The settlement agreement was reached by council between the two parties. And in terms of that settlement agreement, the agreement can be extended, and that for a further period of 24 months. And this is what served before council now for approval. It was advertised, and no comments or objections was received following the public participation process.
Thank you very much. So, Councillor Majesty, it's the Bakker that's down at the Bakker Beach. So that is the company that charge of that. Thank you very much. Is there any other questions of clarity? The ICDP is abstaining, the Freedom Front is abstaining. What is the position of the INC?
Abstaining.
Thank you very much. We then have the INC also abstaining. Patriotic Alliance, would you like to go on record with your position? Noted as such. Thank you very much. We then have our ICDP Freedom Front and Patriotic Alliance. Item P229 on page 271. Also by Municipality Green Plan for the period 2020 financial 2026-2027. Can I please have a proposal in terms of recommendations 1 to 4?
Plus item P9 poses item number 1, Councillor to
Thank you very much. Freedom Front is proposing. Do we have a seconder?
Mr. Speaker, before I second, this item was the workshop, and we don't just plant trees left, right, and center. Was it a plan? We have a plan to make this plan. I look at item point number 4. Let the green plan be revised at least once before 2024 implementation from 2027 till 2028 onwards. So it was the plan that was nothing, and we will put in. I don't know case.
Are you finished, Councillor?
Yes, but we will also look at this plan. There will also be something to improve in this plan if you come with the idea. Okay, thank you.
Councillor Alderman Person, can I just get the clarity? Are you there now with all your input?
Yes, I second Chief Baron.
Thank you very much. We then have a seconder. Is there any questions of clarity or input? Councillor Kuntu?
No, it's not a question of supporting this, but we must also be included in the plan. Councillor Cohen must be included in the plan because the trees are giving us oxygen. We must not just plant trees. We need those trees that plant can give us oxygen.
Thank you, Councillor. Good.
We plant all over.
Councillor Close.
Thank you, Speaker. The ACDP welcomes the greening of our town. The old councillors might remember that the ACDP actually did a presentation in 2017 in this regard. And I'd like to ask that if it's possible when the revision is made, Councillor Boyson, that we would also look at the expansion of the program to include the greening of areas in our communities that are currently used as dumping areas. In the presentation that we did previously, we expounded on the benefits to a community in all the different areas, crime related and abuse related and so on, when areas are greened. I did notice that the report states that in some areas there's very high vandalism when we do plant trees and so on. And the ACDP will definitely think around that and how we can actually improve the acceptance of this when we go into specific communities that don't see the value. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Close. Councillor Dapula.
Mr. Speaker, yes, I support this one. Because you see plan. Yeah, this are the point. And they show even the tourism.
Thank you. Yeah, you see that picture in your mind now. Okay, that's very good. And thank you for also supporting Alderman Boyson as the chairperson. There's lots of requests to you.
Madam Speaker, can I just say the first one is the implementation of a green plan for Mossel Bay. It's a Mossel Bay plan and not a certain area of plans. Is the first one. And the other one is that people must identify places where it can be where can we plant the trees. Let me make green and make also make green. Just write a letter or something like that, and I will give it for the director. The director will just look if it is possible that we can plant that, then we plant the trees. If there is trees available on this moment, we already plant 2,000. They can help me trees.
That's great.
For the last 50 months, 3,001. We are now almost on 2,000 for the current financial year. I have spoken to some of the councillors in Asla and our space is limited, that we will start at the municipal buildings for facilities. And that we will expand to the schools and education and other buildings where people can look after the trees.
Thank you, Director Nell, and on behalf of council to your department for planting all those trees, and we looking forward to many more. Van my kant af, ek wil net de bome ook. So daar moet sierlik bome ingesluit wees Directeur Nell. So dit is my nota voorsitter, Councillor Gous. Ask you, Councillor Kunt, to ask you, Councillor Bula, and the speaker ask you very nicely what the pieces of
Madam Speaker, I just want to get a clarity because I don't know anyway on what we already have our own input. Now I don't want I just want to know, do we write those input again because you are saying we must write down. But I was legally covered by the director because we did submit our very good. So can I just clarify me then because there are two things in. There's the director, there's you saying that you must write. The director said it's already recorded our inputs.
Chairperson Boyson, can you respond?
Kan ook goed lalen, hè. No, if there's already inputs, it's no problem. The director will look into the inputs and it's all right. If there's other inputs, then you can say to me, then I can give it for the director. No problem. And I think you have submitted at the workshop.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you very much. Mossel, I will agree with these items then carried unanimously. We are on item E230, page 2715. Mossel Bay Fire and Rescue Services, rank, insignia, badge and marking. We have our recommendations, point 1 to 2. Can I have a proposal this regard, please? Thank you very much, Councillor Babuma. Proposals, we have a second for Councillor Babuma.
I will second, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Klassen. Is there any questions from any councillor of clarity related to the item? Councillor Matusini?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I see that we're gonna beautify our rescue service people and give them a lot of money. I think those that I would go with money. I think so. And I can commend for them to, when we give those lands, then they must put their own in. Because their work sometimes, they come after the done. The shack is already finished. Because maybe they will tell you the truck is there, truck is don't have water, but people are burning away. Maybe the one who's gonna take it first at the edge will push the work. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. It is noted, Councillor Matusini. We don't have a counter proposal. The item carries for council to take cognizance. We are then at item E231, page 2716. The proposed relocation of pig farmers from a portion of Earth 1717 Kwanumaba to Earth 7026 Kwanumaba, adjacent to the N2 industrial area. We have the item in front of us with our recommendation. Point 1 to point 29. We have a proposal, the CPAC.
Thank you, Speaker. I propose the item.
Thank you, Councillor Mpungu. Do we have a second for Councillor Mpungu? Indeed, Speaker. I would like to second the item. Thank you, Acting Mayor. Is there any councillor who have any questions of clarity? I see the lights of Councillor Matusini, the Vula, Councillor House in that order. Thank you. Councillor Matusini, you may proceed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. As we see this thing of a farming coming from a long way, and then the people of that place, or those people who are farming there, even they fight this thing to the court. I will ask a caucus, my ANC.
Okay, Councillor Matusini, how long?
That's 5 minutes.
Okay, before I'll grant your caucus now, Councillor Vula, I'm going to ask Councillor Host to please pose a question before I grant the ANC the caucus. Councillor Host.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to ask about the item. Is it true that that location, that there is a proposed flyover there in the long term? And how will it impact on the development of that area? That is it Mr. Nell that will now be getting that property? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other councillor? Thank you, Councillor House. I will then ask that we also attend to your question when the ANC comes back on the pulpit. 5-minute focus to the ANC on the items of the pig farm.
En ik kan nog geen permanent. Hele geskrip. Ik weet mos nog niet. Ik heb baie hele kasket gehad. Ik wil nog zetten kaart. Ik heb het geen steek op je. Wie dat dit? Ik moet zeggen die. Emily, is niet zeker. Ja.
Je kan een closed session voor je sturen. Daar ben ik ook niet gefocust met doen. Normaal was als er emotie brengen. Alles dan van beschermd. Ja, als het zo is, ik wil niemand aan zo'n gesprek. Ja.
Mas kenapa nak bukan mas kuning?
Ja, onder ook is het er emotie maar.
Dan pas ik hem af al punt muziek maar. Langsung dia. Entrando na construção, udah nggak sakit harus meskipun deh. Terus saya harus bersihin dia di administrasi kepala administrasi antara. Es itu belum kasus itu semua. Ini sekarang di kulit kepala tersebut. Ini pakai itu. Afrika alles von der Markt.
Councillors, thank you very much. I'm just waiting for the amen. For the amen to take the seat. We have granted the ANC a 5-minute caucus. Councillor Majesty, you may now proceed to address council with the outcome of the caucus. And it gets for just thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will give the word councillor.
Is it Councillor Dabula? Councillor Dabula, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I want to understand one thing there about this item, especially this land 1717 on what one. Was my understanding, Speaker, that then about the reading for the document of the ISP program, that land was to point to upgrading the former settlement. So now I'll see something there. So I want to understand what happening for now. Because I understand that land was on behalf of the USP program.
Thank you, Councillor Dabula. And then Councillor House asked with reference to the flyover, if you want clarity, and then the council is asking if, the said portion of land, is it not part of our UIS program, and image after you, my Director Pinto, and also and
Speaker, no, I just want to add that the specialist, Prince will respond to the flyover. And Mr. Fenter will respond to come to the bullets. I think Mr. Fenter is in a position to respond to both of them.
Thank you very much, Lily. Director Peter, get yourself prepared after Mr. Prince. The two specialists will answer us.
Thank you, Speaker. With regard to Councillor Prince's question, I think that was a very valid question. I've made a note of it. Director Fenter will answer as to, but we will make sure that it's contained in the agreement with the Jodha Nova. Jodha Nova, just for interest, is a company of which now is only one partner. They've got various partners.
Thank you very much, Councillor House. That answer is sufficient for you.
It is. Thank you, Speaker. If it will be included, with our APM, we will extend on this matter. We'd like to just offer a further comment relating to this answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor House. Director Fenter, over to you.
Speaker, yes, when Councillor first asked about the flyover and dealing with the airport, I was sort of confused that she might refer to aeroplanes, but I looked at the specialist and the colleague next to me, and that's actually the connection between the N2, the future plan, and we failed to get to the proper word, but that is where you will be able in future to access, it will be another access point to Mossel at that stage. So yes, it is actually catered for, and one must just put it. Secondly, the land as the item is not part of the current ISP project.
Thank you for confirming that. Councillor House, to you, your second opportunity.
Speaker, regarding the flyover, yes, I understand the nature of the land over the flyover. The flyover is that the airport, I know that there was also a fly zone somewhere along there with I'm sorry if I confused you by conflating two issues. The one is the land, Sandrolls issue with the flyover. The other one that I was asking about is over that area, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm really now relying on a memory that's not serving me very well at the moment, but I know that there was at some point in council, there was a discussion, I don't know if it was maybe in a workshop, where we spoke about a fly zone in that area as well. If I could, no, am I confusing two different issues? Appreciate the clarity, thank you. And then a speaker regarding this item specifically with the raising of animals in an urban area. I'd like to bring to the attention of council the movement of the goats and sheep regularly, goats and sheep regularly around Mossel Bay, right down to Boyland Park, up around and over, in the Almeida, everywhere. When I inquired of the shepherd, I was told it's a council of this municipality's livestock. Is that being addressed? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor House. Yes, we are aware in. I also remember that Councillor House is not wrong. She's not wrong. But yeah, even we can inform your office to also attend to that one. Yeah. The House, you indicated your position and you said the ICTP will be abstaining. Thank you. Councillor Pula, your last opportunity.
I'm listening direct what I'm saying now. That this 1717 is not part of the USP.
He did say that.
Yeah. But I was at the meeting, the committee room, about the staff, was also municipality in the committee room about this project of the USP. And then the Rudolph was raised there, this land as part of USP program. And also the community of informal settlement. You know, I have the document in my house. But I want to know, I know another piece of land there, the 17, like in the Municipality Road, if you go to the sport ground, that land also is a part of 17. But I want to understand the director final. If I say this 17 is not part of your SP, which piece of land is not part of your SP? Well, they have document in my house.
Councillor Kuntu, we will deal with the item in front of us. The director indicated that the portion of land indicated in the is not part of the UISP program. Am I correct? You're asking for a different portion. I don't know what different portion. I'm not sure if Director Fenter also understands or know. So I just want to get clarity to move us forward. In terms of the position of the ANC, are you going to bring a counter proposal? Or perhaps after the meeting, you can encourage the director in terms of the specific portion of land which you refer to. It's not part of the item. So the portion of land, Director Fenter said, it's not UISP. So we don't know what portion you're talking about. So that you can follow up then with Director Fenter. I just didn't want clarity now on what the position of the ANC on the item. Yes, Councillor Kuntu.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I must first correct as you were saying, Councillor Mkondo, Councillor Tibula.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't say anything, but I'm going to say some have questions. One can be explained because here there's farmers, and those farmers are people are staying in our land. Then we want to understand how those people going there to be given that open space. What happened? Now we have these things of that they must move from that area to another area. Wow, what is causing these things? The second, maybe the third one. The third one, we have a letter here, is written in Afrikaans, and when those who little understand Afrikaans, they are saying the letter from the court, from the lawyer. If it is a court order, then we were supposed to be given a chance. So that because the court order is very serious. So you need to make your mind before you discuss something is heavy like this. So I think the lawyer is supposed to also, or if he's a lawyer, supposed to also written in English so that they thoroughly engage the court order. So before, after answer, then I'll give the position of the list.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kuntu, for your question. Councillor Kuntu wishes to seek clarity on why the relocation, what the purpose of the relocation is in, and then is it true that there is a court order, and against who is the difference? Thank you, Mr.
Council, the court order is contained, the gist of the court order is contained in your on page 71. This is the case coming from 3 years ago, whereby in terms of the court order, and I'm just going to read you can read it yourself. But, item 2 is that the first respondent is given a period, that's now the municipality, given a period of 2 years in which to comply with the order to paragraph 1. And that each party has to pay its own costs. And that paragraph 1 reads that the person who's the respondent, that has the municipality, is directed in order to comply with the Mossel municipality bylaw relating to public nuisances promulgated in the Western Provincial Gazette. So what it boils down to now, we had until 16 August to see if we can't come to a solution with regard to the farmers. We had various meetings. I believe it was about 15 meetings to see if we can't come to a solution. Now, as from the 16th of August, we are obliged to adhere to the judgment and to adhere to our bylaws. So apologies for the letter that's in Afrikaans. So what happened then is the applicant to the case, which is Jordan Nova, made a proposal to see if we can't come up with a solution so that we don't have to enforce our bylaws. So that is why this comes to council to see if we can't come to a solution, or see if we can't find a final or at the last attempt to reach a solution to this matter. I must also just state, perhaps, Speaker, and this is a first count item. It will still have to go out on public participation. We still have, during this period, we will enter again into negotiations with the pig farmers, and you as council can also play a part in this. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. You are correct. Point 26 of the recommendation indicates public participation, and that will include consultation with the farmers. Councillor Kuntu, so the legal department gave the background of the court order and why we have this item in terms of the proposal for relocation. Can you now perhaps give the position of the ANC?
My question, the first question was not answered because I've raised that I need to know these people. I was informed that that land was being used long time ago. If there are people that are educated through that land because they were farming there. Now I just want to know how was the process of those people who were using that land to be done, because they were using that land. What's the issue now? I was not answered there.
Yes, thank you. So you're asking how did the pig farmers end up at that portion of land, yeah, and was it illegally and so on? Amen.
Speaker, now I understand what the councillor wants to ask. It is so, Speaker, that when it was a handful of farmers, there were no place to put the farmers except there next to the brick road. And they were put there many years ago. The officials who were involved are not even here anymore. Mr. Prince, I don't think you were here at the time. So it's a thing that came on for many years. And everything went well until we got the court case against the municipality as the first respondent. And I was personally involved in the meetings that Mr. Prince spoke about. I chaired the meetings there, but some of the councillors said in the time. We went through many troubles to see if we cannot accommodate them elsewhere on proper land, but unfortunately we were not successful. The options that we look, for instance, is the municipality have got a community in Hubbardsdale, and they were prepared to go there because they were aware of this. They are also party to this. They are respondent number 2 or number 3. They are also party to this court case. They were prepared there. Myself, Mr. Fenter, we had many meetings with the Department of the National Department of Rural Development, the Provincial Department of Agriculture. But at some point they said, no, it's too far for them to go there. And I mean, we can all comprehend. They are small farmers, councillors. They cannot afford to take the animals to Hubbardsdale and tend for them there. It's too expensive for them. Then that one was off the table. We looked at another option, Mayor, which was land in Mossel. Unfortunately, that land didn't belong to the municipality. Petro SA, nice to say. We communicated with Petro SA on numerous occasions. They didn't come back. But apart from that, at one meeting, one night in the Kwa Hall, some of them said, we are farming with a wheelbarrow. Do you really expect us to travel with wheelbarrow from Kwalanabat there to Petro SA land and so on? So the options we had at the time didn't work for the people. But in the meantime, there was this court case, which the municipal manager is the accounting officer. I'm supposed, Speaker, to enforce the bylaw. And the effective date was the 16th of August, already passed. That's why we're coming with this item to have a win-win situation for the farmers and as well to please the court in the end. Because the land that we want to move them from now to is 100 meters. We take into account that they cannot travel far because some of them are old ladies farming with wheelbarrow. And the item go further, councillors know that every year we get requests for the youngsters to go for initiation. The province asks us to assist them. This land can also be used with grape fruit. It can be used for that as well now. So that is where we are. But to answer your question, they were put there by the municipality many years ago when they were only a handful, but they sprawled over the years. The pigs make baby and the sties get bigger. I hope that answers your question, Councillor.
Thank you, Ma'am. So in essence, the court order is requesting for the municipality to remove those pig farmers in terms of our bylaw, and they would no longer have to be there. But that's why this item is in front of us in terms of relocation, because the municipality also understand they are entrepreneurs and farmers, and we're looking at possible ways to accommodate them. Thank you for that clarity, Emin. Councillor Kuntu, conclusion in terms of what has been said. Can you perhaps now just give the position of the council?
Yeah, in conclusion, as you are asking me to be in conclusion.
No, continue. This is the third time now, you only have 2 opportunities. I'm very so I'm asking you to conclude, please.
Madam Speaker, for the side of the ANC, is to say, the councillor of that area, I don't think he didn't mention that he did engage with the farmers, because we believe in public participation, believe in involving people in any decision that will be taken by this council. Yes, there's on the recommendations, there's points that is raising that is going to be taken back. The other thing is that the letter is written in Afrikaans. Will be asking the legal team at least to ask whoever give that order must also return in English, so that we can take informed decisions, not to be explained, but we can just look directly to the letter that is written. So ours here will be silent. Because why we still have a lot of things that we need to do. Firstly, to consult those who are in the community, the farmers, and you still need to go through the letter, understanding the order when it's written in English.
Thank you, Councillor Kutu. There's no thing of silence on the items, so you must indicate a counter proposal or against or abstain, please. And you really must now just conclude. Thank you.
What I'm saying will be just silent, because there's a lot of things that need to be taken in consideration here. Let's say we abstain. That's all. That will be right.
Thank you very much. Is there any other councillor who wishes to give input? We have the ICPP abstaining, and also the ANC who is abstaining. Any other input? Councillor Porter?
It's common.
Thank you. Councillor Porter is indicating that he's abstaining. Leader Frank? Thank you very much. We then note and record as such ICPP. The ANC and the PA is then abstaining, and the item then carried. Thank you very much, councillors. We almost there, Councillor Kapula. We are then at item 3232, page 2770. The shared service agreement, public service delivery, Mossel Municipality and other local municipality in the Gardenwood district. Our recommendations listed from points 1 to 3. Can I have a proposal in this regard, please?
Madam Speaker, I will propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Porter. Do we have a second of Councillor Porter?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will second the item.
Thank you very much, Acting Mayor. Is there any councillor with a question of clarity? No indication that item then carries unanimously. Oh, sorry, Councillor Porter, I didn't see that line.
Speaker, I'm going to accept not equal on the item was an additional item to the agenda.
No,
I just missed it on the agenda.
no, it's part of our agenda. Item E232. It is directly after the pig farmers item, am I correct?
Yes.
Speaker, we shall go for a 2-minute. I don't know, I'll be silent.
Het ini die polida cafe dan.
Okay, ek don't make, apparently I thought I'd worked enough by the time I was finished. The big problem, right, so thank you, Speaker.
Okay, dankie, Raadslid Gous, daar's geen ander raadslid. That item carries unanimously. I have, Councillor indicating that he has a motion. I will now allow opportunity for Councillor Baron before we go into the closed session. Councillor Baron.
Speaker, unfortunately, my motion was carried closed session before it's approved. So I must surrender it in the closed session.
All right, just go on. Thank you. Is it not? Can we do the open council meeting is not running? Mr. Prince, indicate that you might receive Councillor.
Thank you so much, Speaker. Speaker, my motion is a motion of exigency. It's a rule 57 of the rules of order. And it's saying the council may direct attention of the council in any matter which does not appear on the agenda and of which no previous notice has been given, stating briefly the subject of the matter and without comment thereof, that motion to which attention has been directed certain what is a matter of exigency. Speaker, I have checked with the chief of the DA. As they say, the council will be there. And he also checked with Mr. Mr. Prince. So I don't expect now to have answers. So Mr. Prince said he must first go and check and give feedback on the next council meeting. That's fine. My motion is at the current moment, this paralysis plan being in Grand Park River. It's a court case, and I know this case is subjudiced, so we will not discuss the detail of the court case. But because of this council is in court, I just want Mr. Prince by the next council meeting just to give us information about what is the reason for us being in court, about the public participation process, which municipality have what process that they must be part of. So we have public participation. I think Eden have a role to play, air vision license, the minister have a role to play, and also national, for the processes that national must approve. But because of people are phoning you about this project, I want them to stop phoning us. Because this case is in court, and we can't talk about it anymore. But I think the councillors don't know about it being court. So just let Mr. Prince give us feedback for the next meeting that we can stop talking about this thing while it is in court.
Thank you, Councillor Baron. In terms of the rules with reference to your motion of exigency, we would have to add a seconder. Do you have a seconder?
I will second.
Thank you, Councillor Liebenberg. To extend the councillors, if my understanding is correct, and Councillor Baron is speaking to boycott in him, as the boycott story. All right, so Councillor Baron is asking that through his motion, that we afford them legal services and opportunity to do some investigation and get clarity on the matter of a court case, and then provide feedback to the council at the next council meeting. That is what is in front of us, council work.
Yes, Madam Speaker, if I may call a 5-minute caucus.
Thank you very much. I will then grant the DA a 5-minute focus, and then we will reconvene in 5 minutes. I see. I was.
This can be, I mean, idea.
Thank you very much, councillors. We want now, getting back to our seats. Thank you, Ronell, for the convening. The DA has returned to the chambers. And I will allow the councillor to go down and allow to do feedback to council. With reference to the school. And all councillors, please enter the chambers. Just because we're the last item, I'll allow Councillor Mpuntu with his big green cup to drink whatever is in that cup. Council, what you may proceed to address council.
Madam Speaker, the DA is not opposed to this item. We just seek clarity on the precise wording.
Thank you very much, Councillor Porta. So the DA is asking what the request is. Perhaps Councillor Baron must then be afforded the opportunity to just rephrase, or Councillor Baron can then just put in writing and hand it to the administration, that it can then just be incorporated. Or Mr. Prince is indicating Councillor Baron must just rephrase again for us. Councillor Baron, in short.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, what Freedom Front must say, the fact that this council is in court. We as council need to know what is the reason for us to be in court, so that our division of legal department can respond to us in the next council meeting.
Thank you very much with reference to the Roy Cut project. Thank you, Councillor Porter. Is that sufficient for you? You understand? Councillor Porter, can I just have the lights quickly? And after you can speak, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We understand that the recommendation is that the administration provide feedback to council regarding the item mentioned by Councillor Baron. And we are not opposed to that.
The DA is not opposed. Thank you very much. Councillor Porter, you may proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I just need to know, we can. And then council being in court. I mean, I don't know nothing about the Roy Cut, and I don't know how we end up in court, how long is this going to be in court. Just a brief explanation perhaps from area of this motion, or rather the legal, Mr. Prince, so that we know what we can expect when we sit in council again for this thing. Basically.
Fair request. I think that's also the essence of the motion. because councillors are not informed with reference to that project, if I am understanding it correctly. So, thank you, Councillor Porter. I'll allow, because we can't discuss the case, but I'll allow Mr. Prince just to very briefly, so that every councillor understands in terms of what Councillor Porter asked. Thank you, Mr. Prince.
Speaker, no, I concur with your sentiments, and I would appreciate it, Councillor, if I rather can come back next council meeting with a decent answer. I don't want to elaborate now on the reason or the purpose of the court case, but I will give you feedback at the next council meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Porter.
Just to comment on that, very strange and very disturbing to know that we are the court and I'm not sure about it. Know nothing about it.
Thank you for that. There's no counter proposal. It seems that everybody is in support of the motion that we have indicated as such. The recommendation then carries that the legal department will provide council with a pre-cap report at the next council meeting with reference to the World Cup project. Thank you very much, councillors. I would then like to take the opportunity to thank our members of the public for joining our September council meeting, those in the gallery, and also those who joined us this morning by live stream. Ronja, thank you very much for your interpreter work that you did for us through the sign language. We really appreciate your support also. And I will now bring the open council meeting to an end, as we will proceed into closed session, which is only for the council members. Thank you.
Story is 8. Story is 8.
Thank you. Ano yan? May story is 8 yan.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Councillor, thank you very much. We are then at our in-committee